Good afternoon. This video is to go over how to write your introduction for English 101. So the first thing that we want to look at is how the introduction is set up in the first place. So there are three main parts to an introduction. You have your hook, background information, and your thesis statement. Now, I've written these three things on a huge triangle because I want you to visualize how your introduction might look aesthetically. So if we start with the hook, we're going to start in a broad sense, which is why the triangle top is at its widest part. Your thesis statement is narrow and very specific, which is why it's at the bottom of the triangle and it's at the point. When we start our hook, we want to start broad. What type of event are you describing for essay 1? And then how do these types of events relate to around the world to us? And then how do they affect people today? So start by thinking about how to answer that question. If you are choosing to do the plague, for instance, the Black Plague, well, you want to start your paper off talking about the plague in general. If you're going to do a paper on Hurricane Katrina, then you would start your paper off by discussing hurricanes in general. So when you're writing your introduction, you're going to start out in a broad, non-specific way. You are not going to introduce the topic at all until you get to the background information. Now, in this document, I have given you an introduction example. So here's one that I have. Political assassinations have been a part of social reality since the emergence of communal social frameworks, as the leaders of tribes, villages, and other types of communities constantly needed to defend their privileged status. Now, that is a quote that I got from a website. It's an actual article, and Perliger is the last name of the author, and so his name is going to go in the in-text citations. You can have in-text citations in your introduction. That it's fine as long as you have you can have sources as long as you have the in-text citations and they are present on the works cited page. All right, continuing. Assassinations of important people do not happen every day, but when one happens, it shocks the entire world. Okay, so that is my hook, 2 sentences. I'm sure that you can guess what this paper is going to be about. It's going to be about someone being assassinated. Okay, so if I took that part of my sample introduction, then that would go here, my hook, 2 sentences. All right, notice that I have not given any pertinent information. It doesn't tell you who I'm going to talk about. It's just that it's assassinations in general. Your background information, or the meat or middle of your triangle, is going to be the longest part of the introduction. This is where you begin to narrow your topic. You're going to introduce your event, what year, where, who was involved, and what is any background information that your reader needs to know before, there's the key word, before the event started. Again, you do not want to give away any information that you're going to use in your body paragraphs. So think about your topic. We want to know what's before it actually happens, because when it happens is what you're going to talk about in your body paragraphs in general. So if we look down here at our sample and we start where we left off, one particularly important assassination happened in 1914 when Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was assassinated with his wife in their car after leaving the Sarajevo town hall. Many horrific events have devastating consequences, not only for the people involved in them, but sometimes these events set off a chain reaction that affect the whole world. In this case, Ferdinand's death set off the start of World War I. This man's death would ultimately kill over 40 million people, both military and civilians, in one of history's bloodiest wars. On the other hand, many positive outcomes came about this war, and in a sense, Ferdinand's death. Okay, so everything from the hook until the last sentence of your introduction is going to be the background information. So if I copy that and I put that here, okay, that is the background information there. Let's highlight these so it's apparent that that's what that's answering. Now, your thesis statement is the most narrow and specific. It's what your paper is going to be about. I have written the thesis stem for you. All you need to do is fill in these 3 blanks. If we look at my example, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand is important to history because of what the event caused, the significance to the people in the world during the early 1900s, and its impact on military tactics used today. There is your thesis statement. Again, your thesis statement is your last sentence of the paragraph. Don't add anything after this. Anything that goes anywhere with this should be before it in the background information. So really think about before you add something to this, it should go up here and not in the thesis statement in general. Please make sure that you have followed exactly what I have as your thesis statement, only filling in those blanks where you need information. Now, in your thesis statement, these will turn into your topic sentences for body paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. So body paragraph 1 will be about the important history because of what the event caused. Body paragraph 2 will be the significance to the people in the world during the early 1900s when this event was. And body paragraph 3 will be about its impact on military tactics used today. Introduction tips. Never ever ask questions. Okay, even if they're rhetorical, there's no reason to ask a question. I'm not in my office wondering about an event. No, that's not ever happened. Again, you have to use your critical voice when you're speaking in your essay. So don't ask me questions, that's in your speaking voice. You may use quotes in your introductions. Just make sure to use in-text citations and the source is presented on your works cited page. Also, again, never reveal information that you will discuss in your body paragraphs. In this sense, it's easier to me to write the body paragraphs first and then the introduction last, so then I know I'm not putting in any information that I'm explaining in the essay itself. Again, take a broad approach to your topic and let the body paragraphs explain it in detail. Again, your introduction should be, at minimum, a healthy, meaningful 8 to 10 sentences or more. If you have any questions about how to write the introduction, please let me know. We will be going over this in class if you're in person. If you're online, you can email me and we can go over it together. Have a great day.